Welcome back everyone to Pinesmith, and today we are going to spend a little time here before we return to building our various farms down there. I thought I'd begin by showing you this. I built a little house for these villagers because these villagers decided to walk all the way from the other side of my base, which is several hundred blocks that way, and come down here and settle in this area. They came through the nether. So I built a house and eventually enclosed it in there after they finally decided to go in it, hoping to keep them safe. Now, unfortunately, I had 3 villagers that I did this with, and the third one seems to have disappeared. Which means, despite all I was doing, trying to keep them safe, somehow a zombie must have gotten to one. Arrgh. Well, that's a bit of a problem. So I'm going to do something about lighting in the area. I did put up some torch spam here, but that didn't do me too good. This is another house I put in. I made more than one attempt at getting a house that they would actually go into. So therefore, right now I've tried torch spam, but that didn't seem even to work. I am going to have though to get some nice looking lights. And I thought to do this, I will try to see if I could try some redstone lamps. So my first attempt at this, probably a good place to put this would be right here, right where the bridge ends perhaps. I could put the first one, see how this looks before I start going to mass production and all this. And I figure I'd put a pair of these here, this there, and on top of that, daylight sensor. Now, of course, turning on the lights only in the daytime is probably not going to be a good idea, so if this works as expected, then when it's night, that should turn on. We'll have to wait for night before that goes on, and as we wait for night, I want to show you this. This is the entrance to my main cave, the mines at Pinesmith, and it's the entrance is pretty ugly. I do have stairs in that, but of course the walls are all ugly. Now this is starting to get into a little bit of shape. I put this back when but the back walls and all that look pretty ugly. So I really should use this in the same motif as I've got the nether. So at least I know how I'm going to decorate that. Probably decorate this like the nether tunnel until I come to here. Alright, fine. But I really want to start by turning this into something that I could actually wish to use. So we'll begin with getting myself a shovel because I'm going to do some digging here. I should have thought that before the episode started. Alright, there we go. 1 shovel. Now, I want to have 2 wide here. The idea here, we are going to have 3 wide for these steps down. I figure though I want the steps to start going down a little early. That way we are flat when we come here. Then the stairs are going to continue down. So that's the first problem that I'm going to try to resolve. And it is getting to be dark here. And it looks like our lamp has turned on. Oh boy, I really put this off too long. Ah, too much talking. I should have used the bed that was next to me and not running all the way to the house in a mad panic because I wanted to see that lamp. That's what I get for putting my bed on the 3rd floor. Well, I better first check to see if there are any zombies in the area that spawned in that quick little bit of nighttime. So let us check. Alright, I don't see anything. I don't see any villagers either. That's never a good sign. Hopefully it wasn't a hit and run job by zombies. Because the cleric because what we have there is the cleric, which is my source of my glowstone lamps. Okay, there we go. My cleric and the librarian. It's not a particularly good librarian, but at least it keeps the cleric company. Alright, there we go. Now let's head on and remember that I've got a bed there that I can sleep in if I desperately need to sleep. I keep getting more and more eggs. Crazy. Alright, what I'm going to be needing for this project, we'll put all these in here. Is that we are going to start by having a path here that's going to be made of some sort of stone type. I don't know which one yet. But then we're going to switch to wood. And the steps down here to lead way and the steps are going to be in wood. Now, why wood? And that is because I have down here my path that I've been setting up that leads to my various farms and all that stuff. I've made of diorite, something that really stands out. And let's face it, nothing stands out more than diorite. So what I'll be doing then is, if we take this out, this is where we're going to start going down, because I don't feel like moving all of that, is that we are going to have a pair of spruce stairs here on the flanks. And let me get some birch here. So this is going to sort of be a counterpart to what I'm doing in there, having the diorite. In this case, I'll have the birch in the center and the usual spruce on those. Now I have to decide what I'm going to do with the walls. Obviously, the walls will need to be consistent and not all this weird stuff. Probably use... Well, it is possible I may just decide to stay with the natural colors, simply because, well, we are in a cave here, and I could see them putting down stairs because it's easy to cut up wood and turn them into stairs there. Making perfect stone stairs would take quite a bit of time, and leaving everything else sort of as it was originally cut through is something that one may do. And so let's leave that there for now, because what I want to do though is to take this and let's put this here, and we'll just want to be, see, we only need to go that far. Of course, I really then should, oh yes, and we will use spruce. Where's the... okay, we'll just take that and we'll put this here. And good. So that's the idea there. And then we could resume our trip up. So we will therefore be 2 later than we were expecting before. And then we'll come up here, up there, and up there. And we could fill this with just get a bit more of this. And spruce. I turned all of my spruce into stairs and didn't keep some of the spruce wood in my inventory. That sounds typical enough, isn't it? Yeah, typical enough. Alright, good. And there we go. And therefore, we can just take this to here and here, and this is going to be here. We have to decide what we're going to do that. For now, I'll just stick in dirt in there for now. Very well. And this is, as I said, is probably going to be some sort of stone, and that's going to lead up in that direction. So I'll need something silk touch before I build that, because I want to be able to keep that podzol when I harvest the area. So now I've just got to go along and do this all the way down to the bottom. And then down this way, I'll also be doing the same, except here we only have 2 because this demands 2. So therefore, this is just going to have to stay might have been better if I just stayed stone brick. Oh well. Well, this is going to have some spruce in it, because if you remember, we had the sections of spruce in the nether section, so therefore I think that will go with it. And let's throw a little bit of that in there just to make sure we've got enough light, because you always need quite a bit of light. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is then building this all the way down until I get down to the end of the mine. I'll see you then. I have reached the level where I branch out into my various farms there. And as I was bringing down the stairs, there was a little bit of a development. I had discovered that starting right here, let me bring this up. See, right here we have this chunk boundary. So the chunk goes to there, and then we have this chunk boundary here, right here, going through the middle here. It so happens that both this chunk here and that chunk there are both slime chunks. And I'm wondering if that might be a place where I might want to put my slime farm. Oops. Oh, sorry about that. And wrong button. There we go. That's right, that this might be a good place to put it. In other words, finish my digging project here, turn this into excavating this out, at least until we get the chunk area, get a nice, just mine whatever's remaining out of there and turn it into a slime farm. Now this is about 20 high, so we could put a few levels and go down, maybe down to here, which is around 10. So we get about 3 levels of slime farm here. Maybe go another one up like that, perhaps. It's something to consider. I have to decide whether this is a convenient place or an inconvenient place, because obviously if I do put one here, then I'd need a place to stay while I'm waiting. Though I might be able to use this as a waiting area. I would have to, I don't know whether this is suitable distance-wise or anything like. There's this little artifact of black in there. I keep on thinking there's an Enderman there, though I don't think there is, but I guess it's always possible. But therefore, going down any further then is being put off for now until I decide whether or not this will be a suitable place for a slime farm. Now I admit that this is not the only place that I'm considering as a slime farm. Because let's follow this path down here. This is the path that leads to my spider farm and my zombie farm. And those 2 farms are going pretty well, I think. Because the zombie farm, well, I get quite a bit of zombie flesh. In fact, that's why I've been using the trade with the cleric in order to get my XP and to get my lanterns from the cleric. And the spider farm, I seem to be getting about 3, maybe 3.5 stacks per hour, which I don't know if that's how that fits along the scale and all that, but it sounds like a decent amount for that. And I've also been thinking about the slime areas here, because up here I've been making a little AFK area, and while that might have been a good one there, that's a bit close to the slime chunk that I have here, which is actually marked right here. So this is the beginning of the slime chunk, and it goes down to there, right down to there, and off in that direction. And I feel that AFKing here is just too close to that in order to make that a productive slime farm, but I think if I go here, I'll have a good one. So that's what we're going to actually do in our next episode, is to actually build a slime farm right here. And I'll decide later on whether I actually want to build a second one out in the area I was showing you before. And I could use that one when I am closer to the surface, and I'll mainly be using this one when I am trying to collect silk from my spiders. But I think that is it for today. I've tested out a lantern with a daylight detector, which is actually the first time I've used one of those things. So I see that's going to work well, and I think that's going to become one of the major points of my lighting for my area in Pinesmith. I managed to, well, find another potential slime farm area and get the stairs down there so I could feel if I like that particular color for the stairs, and if I don't like it, I can change it, and then I could start thinking of the decoration for the sides, because believe me, the sides either need decorating, or I have to say I can live with the natural look in it and assume that that's how they wanted things. And of course, I came here on the thought of finding the AFK area here where we could start to build our little slime farm there for the next episode. So therefore, I'll see you again later, and when we do, we are going to see if I could build a slime farm without getting killed. But we'll only find that out in the next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Welstopia.